All right, welcome to the Lowdown, brought to you by Unibet. I'm Dev Sahni, and joining me today is a man who's 6'6", he's 18 stone, and his name, it has to be a wind-up, because there's just no way that this is his real name. Come on, talk to me. What's your actual name? Come on.
My name is Boma. Well, everyone calls me Boma Brown.
So your actual real-life name is Boma Brown, and you're a heavyweight boxer.
Yeah. Couldn't write these things, could you?
Mate, you are a gift from the boxing gods. So talk to me. Look, you're all signed up with Queensberry. It's just been announced. Welcome to the team. How did this happen? Tell me a little bit about Boma Brown.
Yeah, so it's come about through my manager and trainer, Paul Stevenson. I believe he spoke to Frank and put in a good word for myself, and went down, met Frank, and then that's all she wrote, I guess. It's an exciting time for me. I'm looking forward to joining the heavyweight division. You're going to see a lot of good things from me, definitely, and you'll definitely be welcome to the KO show very, very soon. Very soon.
Okay, look, I like KOs. I'd imagine everyone watching this interview likes KOs. So if you're promising the KO show, it sounds like you've got it all going on, mate.
That's it, man. That's it. That's what we want to bring. We want to bring excitement to the division. That's what boxing's about. That's what puts bums on seats at the end of the day. People want to see, especially the big fellas, you want to see us getting there and knock each other out, really, or somebody knock someone out. So I believe I'll be doing a lot of knocking out going forward.
Well, you're in a gym that does a lot of knocking out. I understand as you mentioned, you're with Paul Stevenson, you're up in the Everton Red Triangle, you've got killers. You're surrounded by killers. Nick Ball, Andrew Kane, Eye of the Tiger kind of stuff. Brad Strand's in there. The McGrails, they're up there.
Right.
So how did that all come about? How did you end up there?
Yeah, so I boxed one of Paul's lads in the amateurs, and we sort of kept contact ever since. And then we sort of just kept contact. And back in the last year, sort of early part of this year, he sort of asked me what my plans are going forward, and I was looking at turning over. So I came up to Liverpool, did a few sessions with him, and from the first session I loved it, and I've been there ever since. So it's exciting, man. We've got a good stable of lads, and they all welcome me in nicely.
I mean, they're all smaller guys, right? They tend to be all quite smaller guys. So I saw a picture of you guys. You went for a run the other day. It's just like, yeah, Nick Ball,
Yeah.
Andrew Kane, etc., and then Boma Brown right at the end.
No, yeah, nice. It's funny the fact that I'm a lot bigger than the rest of them, but they pack a punch. I think they pack a punch as much as I do, to be fair.
So how did you get into this game then? And obviously you don't sound like you're from Liverpool. So I assume you've come from elsewhere and you've learnt your craft elsewhere and then linked up with Paul, as you mentioned.
Yeah. So I'm originally from London. Went up to Coventry for university. Stayed up there, and then eventually found a gym in Birmingham, which isn't too far from Coventry, which is called the Jury Court Amateur Boxing Club. Stayed there for a couple of years, and then we moved over to the Pat Benson's Amateur Boxing Club. During my time as amateur, could have done a lot better, but I did all right. 2 Midlands titles and an elite Midlands title belt. So it's not too bad, but definitely in the pros, I'll be adding a lot more silverware to my collection.
Your style suited the pros. Is it one of them?
Always from the start. I think it always did. So it's only right to turn pro now.
I understand you come up with, or you've done a lot of work with, another man who's got a quite ridiculous but brilliant name in Delicious Ori, who's just won the Commonwealth Gold. So are you two boys? Is it a future fight down the line? What's the crack there?
Yeah, no, we're good mates. He's a good friend of mine. I like him a lot, and I made up for him to win the Commonwealth Gold. And yeah, we're in a sport where like stuff like that does happen down the line. So definitely I can see it happening.
How did you actually get into boxing then, Bomber?
So I don't know, I was watching years ago, it's going back a few years now. I was watching the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and I just wanted to try boxing and see what it was like. Tried it, and just sort of sounds like a cliche, but I fell in love with it and I've been boxing ever since.
That's not long
Yeah.
ago. That's
No,
what,
no,
2015?
something like that, I think. Yeah. 7 years, 7 years.
Yeah, so you've come to
Yeah,
it quite late.
yeah. Started when I was about 19, 18, 19. So yeah, I think I was doing a lot of sports prior to that. Played football, played basketball, so I always had an athletic background in the past. Um, but boxing is something that I've taken to, and I believe is a sport for me.
So what sort of fighter are you? You said it's welcome to the KO show. I mean that sort of tells us quite a lot. But stylistically, would you compare yourself to anyone out there, or any heavyweights from history? Do you take a little bit of everyone else's style and put it into you? What are you?
Um, I would say I'm my own fighter. I would like the fans and everybody else to sort of liken me to somebody else or something like that. I just believe that I'm, especially in the pros, I'm gonna be very aggressive, and yeah, it's gonna be an exciting ride. Um, and I believe I'll bring a lot of, like I said, a lot of KOs. So that's all I can promise at the moment. I want the fans and everybody else to sort of decide and 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 say what type of fighter they think I am.
Okay, that's a good approach. It sounds like I'm just hearing whispers at the moment. Nothing's been announced. It sounds like the first of those KOs for Queensbury, and as a pro, could be coming very, very soon, eh?
But yeah, very very soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Um, yeah, so hopefully get out a couple of times before the end of the year, and then go into 2023 and and beyond, and really look to shake things up.
Are you a boxing fan then? Do you follow it? You say Mayweather
I am.
Pacquiao, but what about like the general division and stuff? How do you keep an eye
Yeah,
on it?
definitely. I keep an eye on obviously the heavyweight. Keep an eye on all boxing. To be honest, I'm a fan as much as I'm a boxer as well. So
So
yeah,
who's going to win out of Usyk and Joshua the rematch? What can you tell us about that?
tough fight to be fair. Personally, I'd like Joshua to win. I'd like him to win, but I think it's a tough fight, man. Um, you can argue and say that Joshua got it wrong the first time, and he can look to right his wrongs the second time. I think if he approaches it with a different style and approaches it being a lot more aggressive and uses his natural strength and his ability and his size, I think it could be a different story. And yeah, I'm just hoping that he does win. I hope he does get the job done. But it's a tall order, man. Usyk's a very good fighter. So really,
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the fence a little bit. I'm not sure. 50.
Okay. All right. You're going to sit on the fence. Well, let's see if you sit on the fence with this one. September 24th at the AO Arena, Manchester. It's Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. A fight long time in the making. How does Bomber Brown
Yeah,
break that one down?
I'll probably lean towards Joyce. I think, especially for a heavyweight, he has such a good tank, such a good engine, um, and he's just non-stop. He's just gonna keep going. Um, so I think it might be tough for Joseph Parker, to be fair. So yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Joyce, but at the same time, Parker is a good heavyweight, and and I think Joyce hasn't come up against somebody like that as a pro yet, so it might be a little bit tricky for him for the first few rounds. But I think his tank and his engine and his relentlessness will get him the job done.
Yeah, he's a bit of a machine. Have you done any work with him, or any sort of guys that we know about other than Delicious Ori?
No, I haven't. To be fair, I haven't. But I think in the coming months, in the coming years, I definitely will be doing a lot of work with him. I'd like to.
Yeah, well now you're going to start appearing on more Raiders. You'll be a Queensbury signed fighter. You'd have boxed on BT Sport. People are going to start knowing who Bomber Brown is. Um,
Definitely.
so tell me what makes you different then, Bomber?
What makes me different, I believe. I believe I'm not going to be like any other heavyweight in terms of there's going to be some flair to my game as well. Obviously, there will be the aggressiveness, there will be knockouts, I believe, but there will also be flair. So I think that's what makes me stand out from other heavyweights. But at the same time, everybody just has to sort of wait and see, and and they can make their own judgment.
And what's it like, with these boys that, Nick Ball, Andrew Kane, all guys like that who are very much on the rise? Are they what have they said to you about you're going to be making your pro debut soon? What advice have they given you?
You just told me to go out there and enjoy it, and flatten them really. Yeah, no, they're all good lads. being in the gym with them is class because you get to see what it takes. All of them are smashing it at the moment. So it's to be in the gym with them it's good to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, just sometimes I ask them questions or I just watch to see how they're doing, and how they are as professionals. And I believe that's the more I do that, and the more I train alongside them, it can only make me better.
Do they ever gang up on you? Do any sort of sparring where it's two or three on one, Bomber in the corner, swinging back? Is it like that?
Nah, nothing like that at the moment. Nothing like that. Or, to be fair, I don't think I want to fight some of them. The way they fucking hit back, so I wouldn't want to fight them. Excuse my language.
Yeah, fair. Look, Bomber, I think, let's just make this a nice quick one, really. It's great to have you on board, and it sounds like you're going to be making your pro debut soon. Any final message you want to give to the fans ahead of your pro debut?
Welcome to the KO show.
Lovely. What a great message. Boma Brown, absolute pleasure, and we'll catch up in person very soon.
Thank you very much, Dev.
Cheers, mate. Take care, mate.
Cheers, mate.